Good morning! Yes, I'm still by the sea. And we're being lit by the single lamppost. I've just got to find somewhere. There we are. Not quite so scary, Mary. Oh, what a beautiful morning, but there's no sunrise colour. Where are we? We're at Sheldon. And I thought I'd start today off with something very, very minimal. The most dinky little lighthouse I've ever seen. Just there. I believe it's called the Philip Lucet Lighthouse. I might have that wrong, but I'll put it up here somewhere. And I thought, oh, that looks quite interesting. That'll suit really minimal, especially if we get a bit of mist and murk. And guess what? We've got a bit of mist and murk. So long exposures. There is a little bit of a beach down here. Now, high tide isn't meant to be until 10 to 10. I was in a bit of a panic last night thinking, crikey, sunrise is 8:15, so I'm going to miss all the good light. Bugger. So I wandered over here this morning and expected to be able to get down on the beach, because although it's not very pretty, it's all rubble. I thought I could get something of a lead-in line or a bit of foreground with the waves coming in. Apparently high tide is about now. Or perhaps they're relating high tide to further inland. This is the River Teignmouth. Yes. And last night, you'll probably not be able to see it. Where are we? Just about over there was where I stayed. And it was beautifully peaceful. And I could hear the waves crashing. And I'd have had a room with a view had it been light. But it wasn't, it was dark because it was night, so I didn't see anything. Now there is, I'm spinning you around an awful lot, a long structure that you can see there, and that is Teignmouth Pier, which I was kind of umming and ahhing about. But no, I think with that I would definitely want a lower tide so you can get some of the streakiness of the waves coming up the beach. Now there is some dampness in the air. I can't figure out if it's the spray off the sea, although it isn't rough at all, it's really, really calm, or if there is actually a bit of misty murk. Right, I'm going to get set up. As I say, I'm going for ridiculously minimal. I don't think you can get any more minimal than this. And mono, because there is overall colour anywhere. I couldn't have asked for much better conditions, actually. Not an expression I ever thought I'd say 2 years ago. Oh God, no colour. Yay! Well, I'm all set up. I've got my trusty shower cap on. I've framed up, putting the lighthouse slightly to the left. I'm not sure if that's where I want it or whether I want it slap bang in the centre. I think putting it to the left, you have a lot of negative space on the right hand side, and that to me portrays the vastness of the ocean. There's this solitary lighthouse and all this water, and it's protecting the sailors out. That might sound really arty-farty, but you kind of get what I'm on about. Now I'm shooting quite high up at the moment. I might drop down to in between these two posts, these two rails, because I feel kind of top heavy. The top of the lighthouse is just breaking the horizon, and I think if I go down I get a little bit more clearance. It's not going to matter at the end of the day because it's going to be minimal. There's a new word for you, minimal. It's going to be minimal, so the horizon line is going to disappear. The start of that horizon line disappearing will be created by filters. I'm just going to put in a 0.6, pull it down to the horizon line, and that will help darken the sky to match with the water, I believe. So that's the only reason I'm putting it on. I don't need to slow the exposure at the moment because it's damn dark. It's got to be about 8:05, I would think, maybe 8 o'clock. Sunrise is at 8:15, and I really couldn't have asked for much better conditions. Well, I'm not getting quite the smoothness of the sea that I was after. Look at the colour of that water. See, even though it's a murky day, the light quality makes such a difference. So I've banged the 6-stop in, tweaked the white balance because it's the lead 6-stop and it needs a little bit of a tweak, and I'm just going to let that cook probably for about 55 seconds to a minute, I would think, maybe a little bit longer. And then I might break out the 70 to 200. I'm shooting at 55mm on the 17 to 55. And I could do with getting just a little bit closer. It's rather peaceful being stood here. Hello! Yes, I'm standing under a great big brolly because it's blooming raining and misty. Well, I'm supposed to be on my way home. Well, as I just tried to show you, we're at Dawlish Warren, or Dawlish Warren. The weather is flipping yucky, and I've got here just a little bit too late. I really wasn't sure what the tides would be like. The high tide was was about 10 o'clock, and this breakwater is doing a cracking job of stopping the waves coming in. But what I'd hoped to get was some water coming over the end, and obviously with a marker buoy at the end as well. But I've taken a couple of shots. The brolly was the only option I had because I think it's protecting. Yeah, it's not doing a brilliant job, but it's protecting the screen as much as I can do. Oh, just a second. Oh, trying to do 3 things at once whilst holding a wobbling brolly in your hand isn't the brightest idea. Now, there are raindrops on the filter. I keep cleaning it. I've got the alcohol wipes with me. I'm set up at 55mm. I have a reverse grad and the 6-stop on. And it's kind of looking okay. I could actually do with a heavier grad on the top. I might have to put a reverse grad in because the sky is an awful lot brighter than the sea, even though the sea is a really mucky colour. I'm at ISO 200 just to try and brighten the exposure up a bit. And I'm getting an exposure time of about 15 seconds, which I'm going to increase because it's just not quite long enough for what I'm after. But hey ho, it's a location to come back to, and I'll make this first on my stop next time. But it's a lovely little spot. It's about 10 minutes walk from the car park. It's amazing what the difference a brolly makes. Am I happy with the images? No, not really. But that's partly my own fault because I wasn't here early enough. The weather is perfect for what I was wanting to do, which is minimal, mono and moody. I'd like to get here for high tide, however, this is like a little viewing platform, and I'm not convinced that at high tide you'd actually get here. And this surface that I'm stood on is slippery as hell. So obviously high tide does cover this area. But I do like that. There's some, oh, I can't get the brolly out of the way. There's some lovely textures and patterns in that seawall. But I've just been holding the brolly at an angle because the rain's sort of coming in from behind me as I'm stood here. And it hasn't encroached on the shot, which I'm quite pleased with. And that's it from a few days in south. Fabulous area, and lots more places that I've marked off that I haven't got to because I've only had 3 or 4 days down here, and it's been very tide dependent, and it's all been sunrises. The evening high tide has been around about 9 o'clock, and sunset is about 4:30, I think. But yeah, fabulous few days. So thank you very much for watching. I'll see you next weekend, and we'll do it all again. Now, I may or may not have forgotten to do a viewer's image on this. If I have, I apologise, but I've kind of lost track. Have a good day, guys. See you next Sunday. Bye.